Hi, Aquarius. Yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, we're having all the technical difficulties. And I literally was gonna shout at the heavens and my ancestors snatched me. So that's for somebody. You know, Aquarius, my dear, rules the 11th house. So that's the heaven door. And I'm getting that like an upgrade. I'm seeing a lot of ancestor intercession. It just happened the last few days. Although, you know, the spirit world's been teaching me a lot. I've been in spirit school, light worker school. So it might have been going on and I'm just finally seeing it, something of that nature. So we're gonna go ahead and get in here and see what's up. Let's see if we can make this quick. Trust. I'm hearing somebody is going to be getting roses now. The song that I'm hearing is an innuendo song. It's rather nasty McNasty. I'm just fixing with the camera here, fidgeting. Okay, dude. I can't mess with you. All right, so we're in a situation where we're learning to trust someone. We really want to get to a super intimate place, maybe do something we've never done before, is what I'm hearing, or go to finally get to the level that we've never gotten before. It might be with somebody, it might be in general, it might be a type of experience that we're having. I'm hearing that we're really looking for somebody that's like spiritually immaculate, emotionally immaculate. That's referring to their kind of emotional intelligence. There needs to be sanctuary. We need freedom to be ourselves. So there might need to be retreat, there might need to be bliss, there might need to be time out. This is new love. And somebody knows that it's there. It can just be opening up the love. It might have always been there. There could be a friend that we have trust with as well. They're needing to let go of control issues. This I dislike because me personally, I don't enter in a relationship from a friendship. You need to pursue me as an intimate partner immediately. You need to express affection or I'm not at all interested. That's not something that everybody experiences. Some people like to work towards a relationship or whatever. I like the spark. So that's not something I can counsel on much. I would be straight intuition, straight channel, and that is what I'm getting. We have a friend that wants to turn on the love, somebody that is not somebody new. This is somebody that is looking at starting to open up the love conversation. See, once you're friend zone with me, that's exactly what it is. But this person has known for a while that we're their soulmate. They want to let go of control issues. You know, Gemini and Aquarius, those two signs tend to have a lot of taboo sex. I'm just going to say straight up. Gemini is the horny sign. A lot of people think it's Scorpio. Scorpio is deep and they rule the genital region in terms of medical astrology. However, I'm just going to say it, the tri-curious, trisexual sign of the zodiac is Gemini. They'll try anything once or thrice, and it can equal gay, it can equal bi or whatever. And then also with the Aquarius energy, it's very open. So taboo comes up a lot. Things that are different, things that are situational, things that can appear on the surface transactional. They don't even blink. Aquarius. It's not how it looks on the surface. It really is. There's a shared ideal. That's what bonds an Aquarius's shared values, shared vision, shared beliefs, shared ideals. So there's something here. I feel like something taboo is going to get off the ground, and it doesn't need to be because just the way that this energy is coming out. You deserve love. If love presents in a unique way, we might need to pursue it. We might not need to jump into bed or do all of that, but we do need to open up the dialogue, to open up the pathways to think out of the box is what I'm getting. So I burst out of bed and did my morning prayer and divination, and I had to come to the channel. Um, we both want the same thing. I feel like we're going to get to a place, whether intentional or unintentional, where we can let our freak flag fly. We can kind of unclench, kind of just surrender to go with the flow, kind of not need to be on guard, hyper vigilant. We might leave town, go on holiday, go to a place where it's literally sanctuary, where there's the intention of safe space and refuge from society or from the norms or whatever. There's a different flag that we're going to be flying under, whether we just travel to a different location, flag, jurisdiction, or we're in some type of enclave, conclave, protected space, sanctuary. I'm getting that because I'm getting that we're going to be in some kind of space and somebody's going to feel safe to open up, whether they're new or not new. I actually have a feeling like we're going to go on a trip with friends or have some kind of retreat or even like a staycation. I love to get a suite at the hotel in town for the weekend. I'm a big fan of hotel bars. Um, I'll always have a salesman in my heart and my brain. So that's the best place to pick up a client for anything that you're selling is a hotel bar. Um, or you need a rich husband. I'll be honest. I mean, a hotel bar checks a lot of boxes. So I'm just saying, like, it doesn't need to be out of town. We don't keep an open mind. Literally, love yourself first. Keep an open mind. So I'm getting that there's some kind of honeymoon retreat, safe space, unclenching, not a weekend where we're not hyper vigilant, hyper on guard. Whether it's out of town or not, whether it's solo or not, something's going to happen where we meet a new love. And the new love may be ourselves. We might have been separated from our own self, from our own nature, from our own life. It's a reconciliation. So it's either something from a previous life coming in or and I'm getting two things, that we fall in love with ourselves and that or we get radical self-acceptance is really what it is, because there's a taboo. And it doesn't always mean like something that's taboo where it scares people. It's just something that's off limits, maybe because of our religion or maybe because of, you know what I mean? And we do, as I was saying, this religious factors came out. And I just keep hearing, I'll give you roses. That's a song amongst queer people, so that has a different connotation. Um, but I'll bloom for you. It's talking about trust. I'll give you roses and I'll make them bloom. Okay. So somebody needs to surrender and to submit. I'm gonna say it that way, and they're clenched. They're on guard. There's a lot of control issues here, and it's not us. It's the other person. It's not us. We're actually just needing to get more optimistic, and we've had romantic feelings, but we're in a space right now of loving ourselves first. Because we're going to leave with some kind of covenant with this person, trust, a bond, but it's a soul bond. I feel like it's coming in from previous lifetimes. I've almost hit the incense twice. There's something there, something's burning, or there's something, there's a blinding in front of, there's a burning bush right in front of us. We're not paying attention, or one of us isn't paying attention. I think it's the other person. I think we both know one person has control issues. Again, it's not us with the control issues. So let's look at timing now. Excuse me, I'm a clean freak. Tidy as well. I'm obsessive about tidiness. Yeah, what do you need to release? So we've done this wanting, hoping, wishing, praying is what I just heard. We've been doing this wanting, hoping, wishing, praying because there's separation. So prosperity lies ahead. It's time to breathe in and breathe out. We need to calm down, slow down, chill out, all of the above. And, you know, when does a woman calm down when told to calm down? When in history ever has a woman anywhere in the world, in the galaxy, calmed down when she was told to calm down? So what it really means what it really means is that we're missing something very obvious. It's right in front of us. We're not getting it. And a new romantic cycle is beginning. I was picking up on love so, and it's here's the clarifier: heart-to-heart communication, and it's talking about soulmate and religious factors. So there's some policy, procedure, and protocol around maybe somebody that we're dating needs to be vegan, maybe somebody that we're dating needs to believe in the Egyptian gods, maybe somebody that we're dating needs to be like so in love with animals that they volunteer their time or they adopt. Maybe, you know, me, you need to pass a background check because I'm looking at family planning. So, um, you know, applications and stuff like that, whether it's adoption, fostering, who knows, who cares? It's just, I'm thinking 5, 10 years out. And I like, if you're not into fitness, I like guys with tattoos. So that tends to come with a rap sheet. I'll be honest, I like felons. So that can be problematic. So religious factors, there's something, a lot of my girlfriends, you know, they need somebody vegan or they need somebody that like yoga, or they need somebody that has a practice that means that they worked on their toxic nature. So like we all have it. So that could be religious factors too. But I'm also getting like somebody is clenched because they had an upbringing, like a religious one. um, we didn't have any timing. It said the reason we didn't have any boom, boom, boom indicators of time. It said the reason that we're in a lull is because we're purging. Yeah, well, again, there's a lot of references to movements here, unclench and purge, and oh my gosh, we're really talking about the derriere a lot today, because the blooms and the roses and all of that. So uh, I got this also in Gemini as well. Um, a lot of queer energy. So let's get these cards and see what we got going on. Yeah, I bloom for you, I'll give you roses. Okay, I feel somebody is feeling submissive, but they are more dominant in their nature. They might, um, this has happened in a few readings where I can tell that the masculine is more on the submissive side. They're not so dominant. And I'm sorry, I don't understand a divine masculine that isn't an alpha. Um, but again, I just got told something. So the body is a vehicle for the soul. And in the heavens or in the higher realms, it's not so much, oh, you're a male, you're a female. There's entire races that have more of a feminine orientation. There's entire races that have more of a masculine orientation. Does that make sense? And oftentimes, especially in the higher dimensions, the body is androgynous. So there might be emanations of both polarities. And really, are you a host of an energy that's more feminine, or do you preside over experiences, consciousness, events that's more masculine? And again, what I just said is it's super spiritual, out of this realm. So the body, again, I said, is a vehicle for the soul. That literally is what's coming through. So we're doing Aquarius. I'm hearing Actaio. Okay. I'm hearing a lot of Aboriginal and Pigeon, um, like indigenous. So there's something here in terms of tribal or tribal lineage. And Aquarius does not want to show up. Girl, I gotta get out the house to an errand, and I thought I'd get in here and do a quick reading before I brave the day, because I'm gonna have to deal with the weather. You know, um, I've been cozy. I've been, I'm having to winterize finally. I've been sussing out all the places I need to winterize. It's been a fun little project, and I'm concerned now because this reading is going a while. Yeah, so I might need to pause and back out of my morning. Grant me a moment. Okay. All right, so let's get in here. Let's do this work. So firstly, so we're aware of some kind of judgment in the background. Maybe there's an awakening. Maybe we've seen the sign. Maybe we see the writing on the wall. Maybe a red flag. It could be orange flag, pink flag, yellow flag. You know, it doesn't have to be red flag. Red flags are not always alarming. They just need to be addressed. So yeah, we have yeah, so there's some kind of illusion going on. Something's going to be revealed. There's going to be a revelation. And this is Aquarius. Okay, so Gemini is speaking more than Aquarius. And I for some reason, the way that, wow, okay. Aquarius really won't speak. So this is interesting. So one thing that tells me is that the soul group is opening up and the exalted ones are actually being sequestered. So there's, and it came out, it was with the emperor. So the emperor and when you're doing the mystical, okay, when you're doing work and you need to substitute the star card, the substitute for the star card is the emperor. Our path is being restored. The exalted ones are being sequestered in isolation. Yeah, because the devil is on its last day. Basically, there's elements, energies, entities, ideologies that are working themselves out. Yeah. So there's somebody that made it in the gate is what I'm being told. We need a vision about somebody that's cloaking themselves, or they're masking themselves, or they're a shapeshifter, or they're not what they appear to be, or whatever. There's a person that we are currently celebrating, or we were celebrating, or people in our environment surrounding location is celebrating or was celebrating. There's a person receiving a claim celebration, maybe even worship, and we need to see who they really are. Okay. That is the message. That they actually have a mark, like kind of like the mark of Cain, but they're a magician, a shapeshifter, and they got their power from the devil. They did something in the course of their work where their master is now the devil. You see how we have a double nine? We actually have 5 cards here. Do you see how we have a double nine? The devil is flanked by 9. So there was a pact and they were tricked. Okay, yeah. So the devil was able to trap somebody that was born with the covenant. That's not where they're at now. Their covenant is not honored, and they'll lose it upon their demise. They will when they arrive at judgment, they're going to the devil's domain. So I was going to use Aquarius, but guess what? They substituted the emperor, and we have the record, and we skipped the guidance. I mean the findings. So now we're going right to the guidance, and I had already imposed some guidance with the oracle card. So let's see what we got here. We have the emperor with the death card. So there's some transformation. We might be shifting connections with, if we're connected to the masculine. So it could be two things. We could be standing in our masculine energy. So that's an option. And then we could also be receiving a new masculine. That would tell me like, finally, we've been able to petition for our own unique way to open up, or finally, the other person that we're connected to petition for their own unique way of honoring the agreement to open up to them, to get consent or clearance to do that here in the physical, because everything is filtered through the spiritual. It can be that we were connected to somebody and they weren't healing fast enough. They couldn't confront the reality of their life and their karmic circumstances, and so they stayed in the karmic timeline. But since we kept healing, we kept doing our work, we evolved, our timeline kept ascending, and they didn't. So now there's no more intersection. They won't make their way back to us. And so the contract, the covenant on our life was rewritten. We've been assigned a new kingdom spouse, whether it's to do divine mission work here, light worker work here, we might have a shared collective mission, or it's part of the promise we were given. Ooh, that's the lemon. So this normally means a new boss, a new leader, a new dad, a new divine masculine, a new landlord, a new manager, a new project lead, whatever. But it can be an Aries rising. Somebody with their Venus in Libra and Aries rising. They were stripped, or a boss is being informed of some disappointing news that they're losing their position. It can be that being stripped, but it is going wherever it reverts. It always reverts to the queens receive your soul upon the afterlife. It could also talk about the hall where the deity resides, not necessarily the chamber of the deity. Again, come to the mission school. I know some people have emailed about the mission school. I've been overwhelmed up until last night. I finally got my rest. So now I have the energy to talk about it. So I will. Okay. And it's been about a week since the first email came through, but within a few days, it felt like everybody had the same question. I'm curious. I want to discover more. I've been under resourced. I'm trying to dial into a new schedule and I'm struggling with it. No, baby, you gotta go, honey. We can't do this, darling. Hey, kiddo. You want to simmer down? Thank you. So we have 2 5s here. Somebody was stripped because something was being depleted. It was demon time. I don't feel like anyone here had a negative intention. The devil is not out, so there wasn't the spirit of separation, the spirit of negative influence. There was something that was pretty basic. Somebody was asleep at the wheel is what I'm hearing. Somebody slept on us, fumbled the opportunity. This was the opportunity. So it was something that was promised as part of our, we were assigned here in this life with the 10 of Pentacles. So we received a care package, and it was going to come to us in union. So the 5s usually should be a 9. So we should have been a 9 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles. Instead, we were the 5 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles. Now, one of this 5 is external. So we allowed some energy, entity, ideology into our space that depleted the energy. It blocked out abundance. And this person couldn't heal. We probably withdrew our energy, but we have what's called tolerance. I'm going to say it differently. What we convince ourselves that is our enduring compassion is really prolonged tolerance. But we do have a foundation. It's unwavering. Whatever they're getting is unwavering. And it is discerning with this page of swords, this Principessa di Spade. Yes, Princess of Swords here. So that's what I'm getting. somebody, I feel like the previous masculine was having trouble getting started. There was a lot that needed to be confronted. There was a lot hidden and a lot behind the scenes. And what was hidden was the love. Okay. That's what was hidden. That they wanted to be with us. That they needed to overcome some things to grab onto this opportunity, and they needed to work on it. They took their time. Their new beginning was delayed. They allowed it to be delayed. So they were at an impasse with the self. And because that happened, we were left alone to grow, to initiate. And the Page of Wands gets initiated through God. It's their soul growing. And so now we're going on a journey to have power, to be in a covenant, to be in an agreement. And the other person probably didn't think it would happen, that we would let go, that we would release, that we would leave them to be. They thought they could slowly come back to love. The page, I mean, they're calling him a page, not a prince. Cavalli Dinari is, we call him late comer, late arrival. Might even be a late bloomer, but with the Two of Cups. So this is a person that's getting to love late. It's not necessarily a virginity thing. So they could be switching teams late in life and they're coming to authentic love. That's my experience. Not personal, but I'm around that energy a lot. There's a lot of masculines that come across me, that they're in the hetero, community. But really, what they're struggling with is that they've been in toxic love up until recently. They went through some type of healing. They met a person. They went through some type of healing. They met a person that they lost, that activated them, awakened them. They're coming up out of something where they've been lost to the devil, maybe prison, or coming out of addiction, or coming out of even homelessness. Maybe they've only been working for 2 years. They were previously on the streets for 10 years. So they have been off the dating scene for 12. Does that make sense? So when I see this energy, we have a late comer here, someone arriving at the party late. And it's a similar situation with both masculine. So whether they're presenting a sign at birth, whatever, what have you. What I'm understanding is that there's a similar issue with both, but one person had courage and the other person had fear. One person succumbed to divine will and the other person succumbed to free will. So one person got snatched by the devil, the other person got held down by God because they were obedient. And that is courage, the ability to act in spite of. Did we have? Yeah, and the strength card did come out. The strength card did come out here. So one person didn't turn to God, they turned to the devil, they soothed themselves. And that's the divine masculine that we lost. So they're being sentenced to a life of karma. They're never going to be able to pay off that debt. So they're just not going to get blessed on the level they were blessed when they were going to receive us, a life with us. They're going to get blessed with protection so that they have an opportunity to learn. But they're going to need to reach out for God eventually. And since they didn't reach out for God when they were struggling, now they're going to reach out for God when they're suffering. Suffering is a choice. We all experience pain. And sometimes when we're having difficulty leveling up, rising up to the pain, we'll call it struggle, because at least we're attempting. It's like a winner being a winner, a loser being a loser because they haven't won yet, but they're not lame because they haven't quit yet either. A loser is really a person who's quit on themselves, and a winner is just a loser that kept trying. Does that make sense? So really, there's a difference between lame and loser. So that's this person who's suffering. They're lame because they quit. It's really what it is. Maybe they couldn't believe. Maybe they got drama from the mama or whatever. Maybe it's a chemical imbalance. I mean, give them the benefit of the doubt, compassion. But that's the neighborhood that they're in. They're in the spiritual hoopty ass ghetto because they in a hoopty soul. They haven't got that strength on the inside. Okay, they're not yet a winner. As I was saying, they're a loser. But again, they've made that decision because a lack of a decision is a decision as well. And it's a rude awakening. It sucks to hear. They need to boss up, level up, rise up, queen up is really what it is, because masculine needs the feminine. Okay, so that's just what's up. Okay, that's just what's up. There needs to be give and take, and if your hoe, the thing, if your hoe is stronger than you, homie, we got a problem. And that's just the thing. She's already stronger than you in the spirit. In order to manifest as a female, unless the male was a female in the spirit and decided to come as a male, if you incarnate as a feminine, you're much stronger. To be a being that can incarnate as a portal, literally the womb is a portal of life into the third dimension. You can't incarnate in the third dimension outside of that. Not with a soul. You can incarnate with the spirit, but not a soul. Outside of the womb, you can't. So there's something here I'm getting. There was a weak masculine, and it's fine if your sex is funny, if you kinky, or if you kind of queer, or whatever. I mean, I get it that we're all in communities, and sometimes it's life threatening. There's still countries in the world where homosexuality is illegal, and you know, I understand nature, and we are in the third dimension, so we need to kind of go with the design. I understand that, but in the higher dimensions, homosexuality is not taboo or whatever. Here on Earth, a lot of things scare us. We fear is an ego mechanism, and ego is to survive. So it's not an existential threat. It's not going to wipe out human existence. And that's the level of fear this person was dealing with when they came up to the portal where they're like, choose door A, red pill or blue pill, get your life, get your soul, but do this work, meaning heal, or, stay the same, comfort, but also suffer because now you're living a life you never really wanted. You're living a life that was given to you, which has nothing to do with who you actually are eternally on a soul level. And yeah, okay, you're in a prison sentence if you want to live your life of 80 years of not enjoying your life, but you could get into eternity. You can start with eternity right now, but you have to do the work. Go after what you want. Be about what you about. Do the work to figure out what you about and be about what you about. Stand in that, homie. One of the masculine decided not to do that. They couldn't mature. They wouldn't do the work. They had the desire, the drive, the passion, the motivation, but they couldn't sit in it, stand in it. They really couldn't be about that. So it's karma. Whatever they get, wherever they land, whatever refuge, sanctuary they receive is exactly what they got, is a karma. Whatever they get is because they are being given whatever's in their heart. They are being given whatever's in their soul. That's what's coming to them. And that's what was cooking up in the kitchen for them as well. And God brought it. Karma brought it, technically. If it would be the Knight of Wands if it was God. So that Knight of Wands stands for the Archangel. So here we go. Somebody's a little bit bitter. They've gone through something. They overcame something. And they grew cold. Because they learned their lesson through pain, not through love. Love is the thing that makes it hurt just a tiny bit less. It's difficult. Becoming who you're always supposed to be means letting go of who you never were. And it's probably given to you. You're probably conditioned and programmed, especially if you're the masculine, which means you have to let your old self die. You got to let it die. And it hurts because you're back where you started and you're a little lost. It hurts the most when you push a little more. And the hunger in your heart, it's a sinking feeling because it comes from the start, the beginning, not the ending. At the end, you knew you made the choice in the beginning that led to that path, and you're being reminded of it. That's what hurts. So this is what's going on with the masculine that didn't make it. He'll never pull through, so we'll never come through and I will dance with you. He'll never pull through. We got to find a new mother. See? The ancestors are here. We got those black grandmas, pull through and I'll dance with you. He'll never pull through. That's just what's up. The gate won't open for him. He won't. The little thing he needs to get approval, to get clearance, to get consent, it won't come through. He's stuck. Rule, regulation, restriction. He's wrangled down and restrained. Pull through and I will dance. Okay, so this is the attendant of the universe. They want him to pull through and I will dance with you. But we're inviting him To cross the line, he won't. He won't level up. He got all that desire, but it's like a friend. I had a friend, poor girl, sweet girl. She's a social worker, just loves walking heart chakra. But she need a man by her because she will get walked all over. Okay, poor precious little girl thought owning a home was the same as having an apartment. Didn't know nothing about principal, interest, mortgage insurance. Didn't know nothing about mortgages, closing, down payments. Didn't know nothing about credit checks and getting pre-approved. And so, I mean, it's not the same. We can't compare. Something here can't compare. It's like you can want it all you want, homie. You can want to give me that love. All you can come with your lover offer all you want. I need something I can execute on. I need deliverance. Your intention is wonderful, homie McHomie, sweetie homie, darling child. Go get that love, give that love into your mama, whatever side of the veil she's on. I don't mean to be harsh and cruel. My mother's no longer with me either. I'm just saying, like, homie, that your mama will take that love. I need something I could deliver. I need to take it to the bank. I need your word needs to be something I can build upon. That your little words of affection and la di da and yada. Oh, great, baby, wonderful. I'm so happy, boo. Good on you. But I'm a whole ass queen. You need to pull through. So even if you ain't got no money, cash dollar bills, you need to come through with the love, with the intimacy, with the authenticity, genuineness, sincerity. You need to come through with your true nature and authentic self, who you are eternally in the kingdom of, so that I down here can get my affection, adoration. So I down here can feel celebrated. If I don't feel like I'm being worshipped with your eternal love, with your unconditional love, it's not gonna work. So even if you can't bring no cash money dollar bills, tentacles, be a king, homie, be a king, because I'm a whole ass empress. And you sit in there as the emperor, so that means you starving me of clarity, no swords. You starving me of vision, no wands. So you ain't with me in the spirit. You ain't with me in the eternal kingdom. What you doing? Resting in your laurels, thinking you won, but not doing the work. It's become lukewarm, placid, and tepid. There's some boundaries and procedures here. You will touch not my anointing. We've got to close out this cycle. Get clear on it, dude. We've got to close out this cycle. Get the energy moving. Okay? Come at me, bro. Okay, that's what's up. Come at me. You've got to do it. Nine of Swords. You've got to do it. It's something that you don't want to do. This combination. It's something that you don't want to do. You've got to do it. It's you've taken too much time now taunting you. Yep, that's what it is. You've got to get out of this energy. Okay, that's what it is. You've got to get out of this energy. Okay, so you better fight for your spot in the eternal kingdom, is what it is. Homie is going to trick himself out of his own spot. They did everything they could to hold on to it for him. And this person's been called a he now, and I do feel that the energy shifted. So maybe 5 paces ago, there might have been some non-binary, some gender fluid, whatever. We're now back to the whole assigned at birth genitalia. I'm so sorry to speak so bluntly, but I got a channel going. I got to get to the messages. So they let go once they were assured or felt comfortable that homie in the intuition knew where the road was. They wanted him to know intuitively how to get on the road, and then they had to let him be. So now the world's going to work it out because the universe abhors a vacuum. So if you have a muscle and you don't use it, it atrophies. Okay, you might have had that access, but there's some terms and conditions. Okay, if you're not working out, then it's not working. If it's not a flow, then it's not a go. It's what it is. It's clear. It doesn't matter how it turns out. What it turns out was the truth, clarity. So if a person doesn't make a decision, they made a decision. If a person doesn't take any action, that is their action. Inaction is their action. Indecisiveness is the decision. That's so if a person didn't make a choice, they chose no choice. They chose to be disempowered. They chose to not be clear and decisive. Does that make sense? Whether it was intentional or not, whether it was overt, covert, macro, micro, don't matter, don't care. Whatever happens is what is happening is it's being made clear. When the sun is there, is whatever happened was a purification experience, and sometimes it's great, and sometimes it isn't. But whenever something happens around the sun card or the justice, not the judgment, the justice card means it was supposed to happen that way. With the justice card, it means karma. And with the sun card, it means purification, cleansing. At its raw essence, how it was made by God. So whatever happened, whatever happened, it was supposed to happen. So somebody's holding on to us. They're not going to let go. They're going to secure us. That means somebody's going to recognize us for our worth and value. Okay, so we're finally going to get what we've been missing this whole time. We've been heartbroken because we've been pouring into other people's cups and nobody's been pouring into us. There's been no mutually beneficial nourishing needs exchange. So something's going to get corrected here. Yeah, we're going to move on to the vibration where we can meet our twin half union. And also, there's going to be some traction with our twin flame union. We're getting reassigned a new one. Okay. And that's the path. Our covenant, this is what's promised to us. So it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing the privilege to do so. We need to smash that like button. We need to understand the assignment. We're here out we're on like a light worker mission. We were assigned to this life, not because we were bound to reincarnation, but because we're on assignment. We've come to help. And in helping, we were given a partner, another light worker that we were going to be intimate with. We actually know them eternally. And they have a few priests here upon the earth. Members of the soul group are priests of this God who enters into the physical incarnationally sometimes. So there's like a dozen, maybe a couple dozen people that this God can come to us as. So this God that we're connected to, who's our twin, is gonna come back to us. This happens a lot to Aquarius and Gemini. It's gonna come back to us through another person, a different priest, because that priest is no longer a priest, the one that we were connected to before. We've been assigned, and we've been reassigned what this is. It's an honor and a pleasure. Bye, honey. Bye.